y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am reading Shahrazad Ali's The Blackman's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. If you don't have a copy and you want to know what's in it, you came to the right channel. I am currently on chapter 6, Communications. Alright, let's dig right in, shall we? This chapter is a little lengthy. I got my water, got my lip gloss so my mouth don't get too dry. Alright, first of all, hold on, before we dig into it, trigger warning, okay? She's gonna be talking about how the black woman communicates, and I know we don't like being called out. I don't like being called out, but deep breaths, we'll get through it together. Let's dig in. Today's black woman is forever complaining and demanding that the black man communicate with her. By this, she means she wants the black man to talk to her and tell her what's on his mind. Despite the fact, whenever he attempts to communicate his ideas to her, she responds in the wrong way. The black man is very vulnerable when he confides in his woman. To do so, he takes a step into what he already knows is a dangerous arena because the black woman is known to take information he gives her and use it against him at another time. She refers to him as unresponsive and insensitive when he will not answer certain questions about his personal feelings or views. The black woman gets very annoyed when the black man refuses to let her inside of his brain. The complexity of his views often do more to anger her and harm the relationship than they do to promote open communicative unity. The black woman wants the black man to talk, but if his talk is different from hers, she has a problem. If the black man is silent and unrevealing about his innermost thoughts, the black woman becomes suspicious and displays a generalized uneasiness. She doesn't realize it's because of her strident attitude and unpredictable reactions that the black man declines confiding his dreams in her. The black woman has emotionally dispossessed the black man. He has lost the sure-footedness he was created with. Therefore, the often illuminating revelations he arrives at are much too precious for the black woman's cynical ears. Okay, where were we? Therefore, the often illuminating revelations he arrives at are much too precious for the black woman's cynical ears. The more the black woman fusses and complains, the quieter the black man may become. The black woman is accustomed to speaking to and about the black man in a negative and disparaging tone. She may even speak to strange, unknown men in a more civil tone. The harshness of her tone of voice, the shrill, grating impatience, her cadence and inflection speak loudly of her disrespect. She sometimes appears to glare at the black man as if she is on the brink of physically attacking him. She interrupts his explanations with more badgering, and her disregard for his ideas is so ingrained in her psyche such as to be pathoscopic to her nature. When she is really angry with him, she will stand toe to toe, feet apart, hands on her hips as if daring him to say another word. She can cuss for hours, bickering, sneering, cursing, and competing to drive her point home with the highest extreme of emotionalism. She absolutely demands to have the last word. She not only uses sounds of disrespect to her own man, but will use the same intonations when angry with any black man. Her son, her neighbors, her father, her boss, or her co-workers, her brothers, or others. She could become so vicious sounding that sometimes it resembles a savage animal barking. In her anger, she will throw things, stamp her feet, slam doors, snatch herself around, and sometimes go into neutral. Her non-acceptable ways of displaying her anger are deeply rooted in her suspicions. Whenever she catches the black man in what she deems as a wrongdoing, she uses that opportunity to vent all of her current frustrations. She harbors grudges. She keeps a mental file on issues she is in disagreement with. She maintains about 90,000 kilobytes of negative information, and when she decides the right time, she springs them on her man. Probably more like a terabyte now, right? 90,000 kilos was probably so much back in the 90s now. It's like a terabyte. The black woman is not known to practice respectful communication skills with the black man anyway. She simply does not know how to talk to him. Oh yes, she's a great conversationalist when discussing other subjects. But when trying to have a necessary one-on-one conversation with her man about a disagreement, a choice, an action of fear, she has a complete breakdown of interpretation of the English language. She can't distinguish between a soft, comforting voice and scorn and contempt. She blows her top loud and wrong. If she would present her ideas calmly and unemotionally, the black man could deal with them, and he does. But since she is so irrational about being right, she does not focus very well on one point, and her thoughts are scattered and unfocused because she is trying to argue about everything at once. If the black woman does not learn how to respectfully talk to the black man, there is little chance she will ever really get to know him, nor of them ever coming together in harmony. Some black women talk all the time about everything, about everybody, and usually in a critical and gossipy way. Black men do not like to hear gossip. The black man has the boring job of paying attention to every point the black woman spiels. Any and all seemingly unrelated information may come back to haunt him in another variation. If she talks incessantly, it is a sign of nervousness and anxiety. She may be uncomfortable with silence. If the black man is so presumptuous as to inform the black woman that she talks too much, or that she should shut her mouth and listen sometime, she becomes sullen and depressed. She will look for faults in the black man to criticize and get him back. She resists any information that requires her to change her behavior. This resistance is nearly mechanical and kicks in whenever she is under attack. She relies totally on her feelings to make important decisions and arrive at the correct conclusions. She will hold fast to the most stupid ideology just for the sake of claiming,
"That's how I feel about it."
If informed that her feelings are strictly emotional and have no bearing on reality, she fortifies her opposition and says,
"That's your opinion and I've got a right to mine."
Unfortunately, this is not an act. She actually believes that her feelings are the truth. She will refuse to consider any actual facts presented to her or anything else that conflicts with how she feels about something. Her feelings are her beliefs, and no matter how far-fetched from the truth her position is, she holds fast to it. She thinks that by agreeing with the black man, it puts her in a position to be subjugated. She is under enormous pressure to maintain her independent, separate, but equal identity. She views her difference of opinion as traits that make her unique and interesting. She cannot give in on issues that require her to change her thinking. She continuously waves her banner of fear. She is deathly afraid of being taken over and being forced to concede. She will also try to ask him complicated questions so he will admit that he doesn't know the answer. She revels in doing this. She thinks that her big talk will impress the black man with how smart she is and will make him look up to her. No black man is proud of a black woman who uses her education as a dagger, stabbing him into admitting her superior intelligence. At the same time, no black man wants a dumb woman who is not striving to better herself. Knowledge and wisdom is not always measured by book learning. The life experience and raising of consciousness is much more important to the black man because he is basically searching for a way to have peace daily. So when the black woman talks down to the black man, it is designed to make him feel small, uneducated, and fundamentally stupid. She thinks her knowledge and level of achievements means that the black man cannot tell her anything about anything. She knows better. Examples of disrespectful language the black woman uses when speaking to the black man are as follows. All right, I'm going to run down this list. It's a long list. I'm not going to do number 1, number 2, number 3. I do that last time, and it's like, it takes too long, right? Right. So I'm going to just run through this list because it's 40 sayings. All right?
Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Why don't you mind your business? You're such a mama's boy. You ain't nothing and you ain't never gonna be nothing. You don't tell me what to do. You do what you want to do and I'll do what I want. Get it yourself. You think you're right all the time. I get tired of you telling me what to do. Why don't you act like a man? You full of shit. That doesn't make any sense.
Don't give it unless you can take it. You didn't have nothing when I met you. Your family ain't shit and you ain't either. Men are dogs. I do what I want to do. I might and I might not. Why don't you hush? Be quiet. Shut up. You're so stupid. You can't do that. Leave me the fuck alone. You mess up every time. I go where I want to go. It's my money and I spend it like I want to. You get on my nerves. I ain't your baby anyway. I told you so. My mother said you wasn't no good. I should have listened to her. You'll know payback when you see it. If you don't, somebody else will. You can't do nothing. Stop. Get out of my face. I don't want to hear that. Get out. I don't care what you do. I'm tired of you.
There are others which are more vicious and more degrading, and some too filthy to list in print. It is safe to say that every black man in America has been told at least two of these statements in a relationship with his woman or his mother. Most have heard the majority of them. These remarks roll off the lips of the black female starting in elementary school, so they are well ingrained in her conversation by the time she is an adult. Rare is there a black man who does not allow the black woman to speak to him in these derogatory terms. No black man should tolerate being spoken to like this. He must require respect or reject the black woman from his circle of contact. When the black woman loves her black man enough to obey him and do what he tells her to do, she is looked upon by other more progressive black women as a fool. She is laughed at and pitied for letting her man control her and tell her what to do. She is further charged with making it harder on other black women who do not cater to their men in that way. The righteous woman is asked by the rebellious woman,
"What's he doing for you while you're doing all this for him?"
If the black woman just speaks to him in a civil tongue, she is charged with being weak-willed. Black women pride themselves on being assertive, aggressive, and speaking what she thinks is her own mind. When the black woman talks badly to the black man, she is not speaking her own mind. She is speaking from the artificial mind she has adopted from Western civilization, America. This is something she learned first in slavery, then from teachers, politicians, the newspaper, and television. The black woman has no history of speaking disrespectfully to the black man before she came to America. Disrespecting the black man is new to the black nation. It developed in slavery and post-slavery. It is odd that the black woman considers downgrading the black man as an advancement in her own development of equality. The black man must not allow his woman, or any woman, to talk to him in a disrespectful tone or way. He does not deserve it, and he does not have to take it. If, to defend himself, the black man develops a feminine style of sparring with the black woman and tries to go blow for blow with her insults, bickering, and name-calling, the woman will tell her family and friends that he just bitches all the time. She refers to his participation as bitching because she knows her kind of talk is indicative to the female gender only. Calling a man a bitch is it's like one of the most disrespectful things. She believes it to be a natural part of her nature and wants him to believe that too. He should not. If the black man loses his cool under pressure and responds by flinging a string of colorful metaphors, curse words, at her, she complains that he talks to me like a dog. The fact that she is the one acting like an animal never comes up. Sometimes the black man grows to respond to everything she says in a harsh rebuttal tone. He becomes accustomed to the rough talk and uses it as frequently as she. This is wrong. It only convinces the black woman that he can't handle her, so he has joined her. She will drag him under the earth if he allows it. When a black man falls for a black woman and begins to demonstrate that he loves her more than he loves himself, she recognizes this as a ripe stage for her to really let it rip. The more he professes his love, the worse she will treat him. The more he tries to give her, the more she will demand. The harder he tries to please her, the more critical she is of his efforts. When she is allowed to rule, she thinks the black man must be weak or crazy or both. She cannot handle it. She abuses him instead of progressively enjoying him more. And the time is not far off when she'll be looking for another man. Whew. The black woman must be made to understand that the black man must first feel good about himself, and that she should help the black man feel good about himself when he is with her. That means that when the black man is happy with a black woman, it does not necessarily mean he is happy with her physical affection or exciting personality, as much as he is with how she makes him feel about himself. He will reciprocate. When the black man is pleased with himself and feels good about himself, his days are happy and he is radiant. He is eager to go off to work and eager to come home at night. In general, he is more productive. This is called satisfaction. Feeling good mentally, emotionally, and physically creates its own natural high, an elevation to peace and freedom and confidence and courage. Anything can be accomplished. All of this is part of the Black woman's responsibility to herself. The blessings she will receive from making her Black man feel good about himself are unlimited. While she has her own ideas about what the Black man should do to make her happy, she would be much wiser if she gave the Black man a chance to express his ideas about what will make her happy. A Black man can look at his woman and decide what she needs. Black women have been known to treat the Black man so badly and talk to him in such a destructive way that he becomes confused and angry and is literally driven to drink or use drugs. She will lead him into a trap by plotting to do everything she can to make him fall in love with her. She will make him feel better than he ever has felt in his entire life. At least she makes him think he does. She will make him totally dependent upon her affections and attention. She will set him up for the fall. It's a game to her to see if she can make or break him. She literally drives him crazy. He cannot live with her and he cannot live without her. The more love, the more pain, and she heaps it by the shovelful. This is a dangerous game the Black woman plays because sometimes if the man cannot handle it emotionally, he may decide to kill her. Sometimes he does. When he reaches his breaking point and becomes threatening, she scurries back in place and claims she doesn't know what's wrong with him. She accomplishes these same deeds using jealousy, sex, or rebellion. While he explodes, she implodes. And she hates herself for not being able to control herself. Therefore, the Black man should never allow his love for the Black woman to surpass his love for himself. This is not being selfish. It is a raw necessity if he intends to survive his relationship with a Black woman. He must never let her ego get out of control to the point where she becomes the main focus in the relationship. The Black man must always be the main focus of the relationship. This does not mean that the Black woman's needs should not be met, nor that she is unimportant, but she is number 2, and the Black man is number 1. The Black man being number 1 and the Black woman being number 2 is another absolute law of nature. The Black man was created first. He has seniority. And the Black woman was created second. He is first, she is second. The Black man is the beginning and all others come from him. Everyone on earth knows this, except the Black woman. The only reason the Black woman rejects the idea that the Black man is first is because she does not think that he deserves to be treated good. If examined, she does not really know the details of why she does not want him on top. All she knows is that she doesn't want him telling her what to do. Her frustration is that no matter how hard she tries, she cannot force the Black man into the orderly pattern mold she outlines for him. The Black man, even in his disorganized state, cannot be controlled. He is not controllable. This is different from being out of control. This means he is in control of himself. Others who have tried to control him momentarily meet with the same frustration as the Black woman: failure. The Black woman, like America, is afraid of anything she can't control. The Black man's chromosomes evidently are programmed to rule and be in control, so he cannot submit to being controlled forever by inferior, unqualified beings. Wise scientists around the globe know this. And frequently, the Black woman comes up with a good idea or renders some sensible advice to the Black man. Whether or not he accepts it depends on how she brings it to him. He must be careful in accepting instructions or advice from the Black woman because she is easily confused and will decide that he can't make it unless she tells him what to do. Making recommendations is her insidious way of gaining control in a relationship. If the Black woman is sincere in her affections and is genuinely trying to help the Black man, he will be able to accept what she says and implement it into their lives for wider success. Of course, when the Black woman helps the Black man develop and reach his desired potential, she experiences fear that he will outgrow her and leave her for another woman. She does not trust his motives when he wants to expand. When he says, "I'm doing this for us," she's not sure which us he's talking about. When she accomplishes something free of ulterior motive, her man will recognize this and pile on the accolades. But if her idea is anything but clean, then he shouldn't get too excited. She has heard stories of women who help their men succeed and then he leaves them. So she is afraid that this will happen to her. If she behaves right and does not create problems or become combative, she will be well rewarded for her trust. She will be taken care of and loved, and her children will be fathered and become heir to the black man's accomplishments. This is how black legacies are made. Another reason the black woman fails in her confrontations with the black man is because she attempts to use the white woman's analysis and social priorities as her mentor regarding how she should get along with the black man. This is wrong. If you didn't know by now, she was gonna say that. White American issues are completely different from black American issues. The white race understands the necessity for open forum discussion of their relationship problems. Blacks are sensitive about the defects in black life and fly into a tizzy at the mere mention of interpersonal problems indigenous to ex-slaves. This refusal to acknowledge the nitty-gritty problems has resulted in them being ignored and assumed unimportant. Even worse, it left the black woman and the black man to devise their own solutions. Blacks have no published scholastic analogies about how the black man and the black woman should get along. These problems exist and they are monumental. They hold the key to the black man and the black woman's personal success. A problem is only a question. The answer is the solutions. Blacks have not approached their problems from a mathematical standpoint and assume there are too many variables for similarities to exist. But there are similarities. The relationship problems between black men and black women are only different in the degree to which they are demonstrated. And blacks have never honestly and descriptively addressed these problems to the black nation as a whole. The truth about the depth and span of these problems is painful. The truth is also embarrassing and unwelcome for public scrutiny. But the black man has been negligent in his duty to control the black woman, and the black woman has been scandalous in her public and private dealings with the black man and his offspring. The time is past when this topic can be swept aside and replaced with the other life priorities that are impossible to attain anyway until the root of this situation is addressed and remedied. I agree. Relationship standards have changed, but change does not always mean better. Sometimes it just means different, or worse. Companionship between the black man and the black woman has turned into a living hell, whether they live together or not. The hell has a pattern and affects the dwellers of every black household, and it must stop. I can't believe other black women are on social media trying to disparage this woman. It's so disheartening. Anyway, in referring to the black man, the black woman has an affinity to using the terminology, my man. My man, my man, my man, my man. My friends know I cannot wait to my man them to death, because my man. Okay. And she prefers to call the black man her boyfriend, my date, my honey, my friend, or my beau. The word man makes her uncomfortable because it rings so superior and authoritative in her ears. As a consequence, black women in their 30s and 40s and 50s go around referring to the black man as a boyfriend. The black man is not a boy. It is a distasteful title he prefers not to answer to. The black woman in her stubbornness still calls him her boyfriend. She should refer to her black mate as her man, because that's what he is, a man. The language itself is euphoric. When the black woman speaks well of the black man, it is elevating to all who hear, and it is contagious. Better yet, the black woman should try telling the black man good things about himself to his face, looking him straight in the eyes. She must learn a new talk. Dialogue filled with complimentary words. The black man should commend the black woman when he sees her demonstrating an attempt to make a positive change in the way she talks to him. The black man should not be ashamed to admit that he does not have all the answers all at once. On examination, the black woman does not have all the answers either. She usually does not have any of the answers. The Black nation must implement across the board standards of home life that encompass every Black person and every Black family. The plan must be the same throughout in order to see unified progress. The result of not having a national formal plan useful to all people is the confusion and degradation we have today. The Black woman's first change must be an oral one. She must learn enough self-control to keep herself from talking to the Black man like he ain't nothing. Many times, the Black woman will refuse to cater to the Black man because she claims he wants a mama or he has a mother complex. They make these charges because many Black men want consolation. They want to be consoled, and there is nothing weak or lacking in them for wanting this. The Black woman's job is to be a consoler. Console means to give comfort, solace, and to make feel better, less sad. The job of the mother and the wife when it comes to consolation is the same. It is not different or opposite. It is the same expression that should be shown to the Black man and the Black child, no matter what age they are. Consoling is a female duty and one she is good at. Consolation and stroking are a necessary means of communication, just as the desire for acceptance and approval, love and agreement. Giving consolation is not a mothering or wifing, it is a womaning, providing the comfort to the nation instead of ramshackling it. Black women withhold comfort for a variety of reasons and meter it out as they feel it is deserved. The Black man who commits what the Black woman considers a sin is not able to get consoled. Any failure that makes her feel disappointed is not rewarded with consolation. Of course, when the Black man fails, his greatest desire is to be consoled, instead of hearing, "I told you it wouldn't work anyway," or "You should have known that wouldn't work," or "Why don't you stop and just get a job?" The Black man is a recovering slave and does not need a woman who is constantly saying that he doesn't amount to much. He is something good. And if the Black man talks to him right, supports him, and consoles him, he will heal and he will show the world how really great he is. But since he is virtually alone, abandoned, and disregarded, he does not always have the spirit to go to work. He needs a purpose. The Black woman is unaware that this is the major continent where the Black woman is out of control, where she has rejected her responsibilities and does not recognize the man as the head of the family. Again, the memory of the suffering slave takes its toll. Slavery was designed to disconnect the Black man and the Black woman. Today, we see the long-term effects of the disconnection on American soil. Whew. Some Black women are so removed from these types of historical roots that they blame all of their problems on the other victim of this racial conspiracy, the Black man. They are more concerned with dressing, jewelry, politics, sororities, church, public opinion, and jobs. It seems the Black women who boast of holding the most prestigious job titles is the most difficult to reach. The so-called successful Black woman who earns her gargantuan paycheck believes she is the best with all her bases loaded. She doesn't realize that her choices leave her lonely and hostile and disliked by the group she longs to impress the most, Black men. Oh, she may say she's having more fun without a man than she had with one. Not true. There is no such existence for the Black woman. She is not complete unless she has a man. She is just a coward who does not want to deal with the Black man on his terms. She has a boss complex and exaggerates her worth. She's cute and necessary, but she is not more valuable than the Black man. No one is. The Black woman, deep inside her heart, wants to surrender, but she wants to be coerced. She wants to be convinced, according to her own barometer, that her man really, really loves her. Right now, the only barometer she examines is whether or not her man is seeing another woman. When she is unsure of herself and teetering on making a wrong decision about something, she wants the black man to take charge of the situation and take responsibility for her. It is very difficult for the black woman to have constant confidence in her own decisions because she knows she doesn't see the road clearly. She is unequipped to lead in that way, so in her life travels, she tries to look at everything at the same time instead of recognizing the clear path. Perception is the root of what the eyes see and the ears hear. If the black woman would just change her perception of what submission and surrender means, she could have peace. She cannot have this peace until the black man takes up the banner of change. It is a massive undertaking that only the wise will survive. But only the wise will survive anyway. Those who can see no further than Gucci or Panasonic will not make it. Material gain will not and has not solved the problems between the black man and the black woman. They serve only as a temporary distraction, an expensive one. Woo! Y'all, that is chapter 6. Right on time, because I've needed to do some self-reflecting on how I communicate with my man. I mean, I would say, and he would say, that we have the healthiest relationship that we both have been in, but we're not perfect, and that shows itself whenever we have an issue or an argument. And I'm guilty of being disrespectful, you know, in my tone especially. And I want to work on that. And I really want to work on that because I respect him and I want him to feel respected. I want him to feel that what I feel about him, I want him to feel that. Like, I want it to translate. Does that make sense? And how I would not accept somebody saying they love me and disrespecting me at the same time. So why should I expect him? What a great chapter. Uncomfortable chapter. Man, this book has really held a mirror up for me, reading it in a good way, in uncomfortable ways, in a bad way, in all the ways. But that's how you grow, right? You don't grow from being comfortable. You don't grow from just staying the course. You learn about yourself. You learn about a society around you, your history, what you want, and how to get on that path. And you make the steps. And the steps sometimes are uncomfortable, right? But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The next chapter is family relationships. It's shorter than this chapter, so I'm about to record it right now. Bye.